So, as I said in the spoiler-free review, but some people might not want to watch that if they've already seen the movie, holy shit, that movie was amazing. Oh my God, that is honestly one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I say that as a comic book fan for sure, but I don't even want to scale it on the comic book movie level. I know that comic book fans and people that aren't comic book fans probably, like, you know, not non-comic book fans probably wouldn't agree with me, but it was just such a masterful conglomeration of characters and a storyline that actually somehow managed to make sense with all that going on. I'm in love. I'm personally in love. I'm waiting for the people who are just gonna who just want to dislike it for the fact that to seem trendy for disliking it. And I'm sure a lot of people just didn't like it, and that's okay. But me and guaranteed everybody else in that theater was mind blown when that movie was done. So let's get into it. First, we're gonna start off with the stuff that I really liked, like the specifics that I really liked. Then we're gonna get into like the heart-shattering moments, and then we'll probably talk theories about what we think's gonna happen in the future. So right off the bat, just the fact that like it really just kicks into it with Thanos' warship just destroying Thor. It just kicks right into that, and it leaves basically like literally the second that bonus scene in Thor ends is when this picks up. So that's awesome. And it was just I said we were gonna wait to get into the sad stuff, but like the Loki, man, he like turned white and had the red in the eyes. Oh my, like that was intense. That really from the get-go showed a very brutal death. Just a very, very brutal death. Set the tone right from the gate. Very few companies are as good at blending that many characters together in a way that can keep you caring about the story and caring about each individual stories the same way that Marvel is. They've shown it time and time again, but on a significantly smaller scale. Like, to me, it was still impressive that they managed to keep like the Guardians in line, the original Avengers movie in line and interesting, and then like anything, and then like the Captain America 2 and 3, where you have this huge, just a larger backstory of characters. It's impressive enough there, but taking it to that next level with this movie, very few studios should have even attempted it. And honestly, I think they probably did a better job with it than some of the ways that the comic books showed it. With the movie, it's like we've got like under 3 hours to work with. We are pushing this to the limit. We have to be incredibly selective about what we include in this movie, but we have to make sure that people get their chance to shine, people get their representation, but that the story is still being told. And that's really hard. And letting the characters breathe and have a little bit more of that breathing room so it's not just like shot, 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 shot. I don't understand how they did it, but they did it so incredibly well. So I think from the get-go, everybody knew that things were pretty much futile in this movie. Like, I don't think anybody went into this thinking that the outcome was gonna be amazing, that there was gonna be some kind of happy ending. But they really managed to flip things on people. And I swear, if you haven't seen this and you're trying to avoid spoilers, like this is probably where you should really click off. So they really managed to throw that stick in there that everybody assumed they were gonna take out Tony or Captain America. Everybody assumed that one of those guys was gonna be done by the end of this movie. I didn't really think so, because there was enough stuff saying that like it was like after Avengers 4, this actor is gonna be done. So I was like, unless they're counting them for like flashback scenes, which is very possible, those guys, like they're still in this next movie. They're still gonna be around the next movie. But like I said, they could just say, yeah, you're credited for being in that movie, even though your character's not in it. You know, they very well could have done that. But those are two of the people that were actually left alive. I think I did a final count and there was like 9 people still alive. I could be wrong of like who I'm considering to be either central Avengers or central side characters. There were 9 people still alive at the end of that movie. Holy shit. And 2 of them were Tony Stark and Captain America. Way to just give this a huge FU to everybody, but in the best possible way. Thanos' character, building into this movie, they really just described him as being a war titan, just a madman, just a mad guy who's just trying to take out half the universe. He's hell-bent on genocide on a massive scale, and that's why he's trying to put this gauntlet together so he can do it in an instant. This movie really allowed Thanos to display his humanity, or at least like his perceived aspect of humanity. The fact that he thinks what he's doing is for the benefit of not just mankind, of literally the entire galaxy. I thought they did a really amazing job displaying his humanity, and then especially in the moments with Gamora, and Gamora just struggling to do the right thing, to keep that information from him, to either kill him or kill herself, because she knows that he'd probably be able to find the information out somehow. Of course, he finds out. It turns out that that stone is actually on a planet called Volmir, and the protector is the Red Skull. So then they get there, and you find, okay, Thanos needs to sacrifice someone that he loves. And Gamora starts laughing, because she's like, this universe said no, you can't have this, because you don't love anything. You don't love anyone. And then he's crying. And then she realizes, holy crap, you think you love me. You think what you showed me all these years is love. And they actually do like a flashback to when he was taking her from her home planet, where he is kind of coming across as a fatherly figure, where we had always kind of been like, oh no, he's like this torturing, murderous father. But he has this very moment of like sincerity, of kindness. So it really adds that extra dimension to this character that originally they did a really good job just kind of marketing as a madman, just a crazy guy that has no aim or real purpose, and he's just, which is, I'm gonna take over the world, like all these other very shallow villains. And I've always said that that's one of the bigger issues with superhero villains, is that they often seem very shallow and intense. And they didn't do that. They really managed to build up that character in a great way. And I think that is very important as to why this movie was so good. So I'll admit I was wrong. I really thought that the Soul Stone was going to be in Wakanda. I really thought that had some importance, that they could connect with their past. I really thought that, because it's very similar. Like when Thanos is on that soul plane, it is very, very similar to what happens in Wakanda when they take the Black Panther power. So I was really positive that whatever made those flowers was tied or was originating from that stone hidden somewheres. Peter dying. I can't, like the deaths. I feel like we've gone on long enough. I now have to get into the deaths. We've been rambling here. Oh my God, I cannot handle the way that okay, so everybody's starting to disappear, and I'm fine until Groot goes. Once Groot starts going, I'm like, I get the first couple tears. I'm like, okay, it's happening now. And then, like Black Panther goes, and then it cuts back to Titan, and then the Guardians start going, and I'm like, oh no, Mantis, Drax. And then Star-Lord, like Peter Quill goes, and I'm like, no. And then like, you like Doctor Strange goes, but he specifically says the word, like, this is the only way, and like, we'll touch on that after. I'm gonna like cry again. And then like Tony's just left looking around in circles, watching all of his friends disappear. And then like from behind him, you just hear like, Mr. Stark. And it's like, oh my God, I'm actually gonna cry, because he's just like, oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am gonna cry. Woo! Yeah, that is like literally Tom Holland. I already loved Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I already thought he was like the best, absolute best choice that I'd ever seen for a Spider-Man in one of these movies. But like that whole performance just really, really drove it home. Like, oh my God, like, so that's like multi-level. That's like Tony being like, holy crap, like I can't believe like this kid followed me here and now he's dead. But when you think about it, he would have died on Earth too. I'm pretty sure the way it worked, he probably would have just died on Earth as well. Still just messed up. Like Tony's the reason why Peter's like involved in a lot of this stuff in the first place. So he's gonna have a lot of personal guilt towards that. And then just the way that Peter reacts is just really shows how young he is. Oh God, I'm just imagining like a war, like in the next movie where Tony Stark makes it back to Earth and then has to go tell Aunt May that like your nephew just disintegrated in front of my eyes on an alien planet. I'm so sorry. It was rough, but let's get into what it means for the future. So I honestly think that possibly Vision, Gamora, and Loki are like gonzo, like potentially fully gonzo. They were gone, like Loki was literally murdered beforehand. Gamora was murdered to get one of the stones, so maybe they can do some kind of weird trickery to get her back. And then Vision again was murdered to get one of the stones. So I think that there's a way that those ones that they could be completely gone, but you can kind of do the trickery. The ones that are, gone because of stones could potentially come back because of that. But I don't see a world where they can logically bring, like, I guess technically Loki died giving a stone too. So I don't know, they could probably find some trickery there, but if those three characters are completely gone, I would not at all be surprised, and that sucks because Loki is pretty much one of the best parts about Thor. I think Gamora is obviously a very central guardian, and it would suck if she was gone. And then Vision, I like Vision a lot, but Vision's obviously kind of more of a new character that kind of got, birthed out from like Jarvis, and you know how she goes. It would still be sad if Vision was gone, but I wouldn't have as much of an emotional issue with it. like as much of a personal issue with it, because like Loki's like this perfect like ally slash villain, in between kind of character, and I think it's important to have those. And then everybody else that dies when he snaps his fingers, like, come on, do you really think they're killing off their biggest cash cows all in one movie? Because like, if the only Guardian of the Galaxy left is Rocket Raccoon, as much as I love Rocket Raccoon, you can't have any more Guardians movies. If you kill off Black Panther right after the biggest success of his own movie, you're not gonna do that. You can't have any more Black Panther movies, not gonna happen. There's just some of them that are like 100% like there's no way this character is dead. And I don't think anybody expects these characters to be completely dead. Will there be characters that are completely dead by the end of the entire, like after part 2? Absolutely. I think it would be very, very smart to assume that Captain America will die, possibly Iron Man, because I think that they've kind of expressed that they are potentially done with those characters. I don't want to look into it right now. I know there was a news, there was a couple different things saying like contracts renewed until the end of this. But honestly, I don't think anybody expects most of the people who were dead in this movie to stick, but that doesn't make it any less of an emotional impact for me, because right now, in that universe, they are dead. The people that are still alive are reacting to those deaths as if they are real. It's, it's not like they just got blinked out of existence on Earth forever. People are aware that they were there, and that's why it sucks. And the way they died is just so emotionally intense. But talking about ways that it could possibly be fixed. So when Doctor Strange is doing the meditation thing, he says he looks at 14 plus million options and scenarios, and he sees only one where they actually win. And I think that everybody took that statement as, on Titan right now, I only see one scenario where we get the gauntlet off him now and end it now. But more likely, he was referring to there's only one scenario where we completely destroy him, and it involves letting him get it. Because when he gives up the stone, very early on, he had said, I am not going to let anybody get this. If that kid has to die, if you have to die, I will let you die to protect this. And then right when Thanos is about to kill Tony, like he's already stabbed him, but right when he's about to finish it off, he's like, just take it. And then Tony's like, why would you do that? And he's like, we're in the end game now. We're in the end game now. Like it was the only way. And then again, when Doctor Strange is literally disappearing, he says something like, this was the only way, or something like that. So in my mind, he's like, this was the scenario I saw, that the only way that we can undo this is if you're alive and if we let this happen. So that's why I think he stopped him from killing Tony, is that Tony will probably have a very important role, as expected, in the future one to bring an end to Thanos, get the stones back and undo everything that just happened. So I think that's what that was alluding to, I mean. And yeah, that's definitely what I think, that's what I think is gonna happen there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much where that leaves us. I think that's what they're alluding to happening in the future. Obviously this has been a very long video. I'll probably have to cut some of it down, but I might just leave this as being a really long video because there's still so much that I didn't even get a chance to touch on. Because obviously if the movie was 2 hours and 44 minutes, like I can ramble about it for a very long time. But if you guys saw it, let me know what you guys thought. What are your favorite parts? I couldn't even necessarily centrally pick a favorite part. Oh man, when Thor crashed down with the axe, everybody in my theater just like cheered. They were like, yeah, like literally just cheering. And it was so cool to kind of see him in full force coming back. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah, so many amazing moments in this movie. I'm definitely gonna go see it again. I'm trying to see it again this weekend, but I know it's gonna be super busy. I had like reserved seating last night, but oh my God, I can't handle it. So good. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Like I said, let's get that discussion going down below. If there's anything I missed or anything maybe I didn't touch on, feel free to bring it up. But like I said, we are pressed for time on this thing. I'm at 20 minutes and 52 seconds of recording. It's a long time, but thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all later. Okay, so I just finished editing this and realized that I forgot to touch on the bonus scene. So we got the preamble into Captain Marvel, which I think is super cool. So we got some Nick Fury. We've got Agent Maria Hill. They disintegrate, but it's fine because then we see the little transponder thing calling Captain Marvel. So that was a good setup. I am actually excited for that movie. Not like, I'm sure Ant-Man's gonna be a fine movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I'm actually excited for Captain Marvel. So that's actually gonna do it. Bye.